have been searching for a new notes app and productivity system that works on different devices like iPhone, Android phones, Mac computers, and Windows computers. I came across Notion, which seems promising, but as I started using it, I felt overwhelmed. Some people were really good at using it and created lots of complicated stuff, while I struggled to understand it all. Even the ready-made templates didn't fit my needs. I don't want a fancy-looking notes app. I want one that's practical. I believe I'm not the only one facing this challenge. I'm still using Notion, but I want to take it easy and learn at my own pace. So I thought of making a video about my experience. This is not a productivity advice. It's simply a video to let you know that we all have different ways of doing things. We don't have to focus on aesthetics or find the perfect process. Instead, we should find one that works best for us at the time. In the next video, I will talk about my process. I'll start by discussing the services I used before Notion, why I stopped using them, and what made me choose my current productivity apps. It's a personal journey and not a tutorial. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos where we'll explore productivity in a simple and relatable way. For my process, before I don't really have any, I just put in my notes somewhere and I may or may not go back to them. Here are some services that I have tried. First is the pen and paper, which I used from 1993 when I started writing and up to 2023. I love this. I love the feeling of writing on paper, and by 2011, I was using fountain pens and planners. I write on the margins of books, notebooks. I write notes on notepads and sticky notes on the back of my notebooks. Since I move around so much, it's hard to keep the notes I write. Being in the medical and media field, I am a doctor and a transcriptionist. I need a lot of notes with me at all times, so it was not practical to just lug around a bunch of papers. I also started to have wrist pain and can't write for long periods of time. For Evernote, I used this from 2012 to 2013. Very briefly, I used this prior to my Apple days when I had either a Sony, Samsung, or an Asus phone. I just fell out of using this when I tried opening this up to check for this video. I just have a few recordings and notes on there. I remember I liked it, but I think at the time I haven't got a tablet yet, so it got too hard to keep using the application. This app was one of the apps I was considering moving on to on my most recent change, but while I was watching the videos about the current apps, people are saying that Evernote might currently be in trouble and has recently been acquired by a company not known for its note-taking apps, and I wasn't comfortable on using an unsure service because even if I'm constantly changing Notes app, all of my digital notes are still where I put them, and notes or productivity apps have a lot more role in my daily life currently. I actually ran my life through it, so I can't risk that. I still plan on using this to store some of my pictures for my practice, but I'm still choosing between it and Google Drive. Tell me which service would be best for logging my patients and dermatology residency files in the comments section. For OneNote, I used this from 2015 to 2018, a few notes over 2 years during my clerkship and internship. I usually use this for recordings and admission notes of my patients then. I also found a short story in there while I was checking what I have. Also, funnily enough, a drawing of a pastry I can't remember the name of at the time that I was drawing so people can identify what it is. For notability, I used this from 2018 to 2020. I used this for around 2 to 3 years, and this was perfect for me at the time because I can see my notes and how I wrote them in relation to the recording of the lecture I have.
So in elderly, when the sinus node is have degenerative changes,
But the fact that I have to buy it in Mac just felt wrong to me. I still have my notes on there, and while I was checking it out, I think my notes look good in there. For Anki, for 2016 to 2023, I still use this but not as extensively because it takes time to really implement this and study this. Previously, I tried making my own flashcards, but currently, I just download flashcards from other people and just test myself on them en route to work or when I'm not doing anything. It also didn't really pick up for me since I have to pay it for it on iOS whilst it's free on Android, Windows, and Mac. Sheets on Google Drive, which I use from 2020 to 2021 for budgeting and has an adjunct to my Anki. I strayed away because I want something that can open up anytime and it was too complicated to open on a phone. For GoodNotes, 2022 to 2023, I tried GoodNotes but that hasn't catch up on my daily to-do, some of my notes are still in there. For Apple Notes from 2018 to 2023, this is what I currently use. I'm in the process of changing it, but I'm still using this one for some stuff at the moment. All my notes and productivity I have talked about before, Apple Notes can do sans audio recording. This is perfect if you're in the Apple ecosystem, which I am since around 2017 when I bought my second iPad. My life is literally on there, from budgeting, notes, tasks, my secret notes, etc. Why will I change? I want a service that will be available on all platforms I use, and I'm interested in buying a Samsung Ultra on their next generation of phones. And even if I don't end up buying the product, I want to open myself up to applications that I can use on all platforms when the time comes that I move away from Apple. My current thoughts are basically find a good notes app. I currently am in the process of moving stuff from Apple Notes into Notion, and for peripherals like documents, pictures, and receipts, move as much as I can from Apple to Google so I can access everything no matter what device I use at a given time. In the next video, I will discuss my current productivity process and what I plan on changing, and how I move my Apple Notes into Notion slowly but surely. If you like this video and want to follow along with my process, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you!